Hi all, I am Khanam and this will be our seventh video in React Redux series. In this tutorial, we are going to learn what is state in Redux. We have seen multiple times the state of our application will be stored inside the store. But what is the state? Previously, we have seen some examples, but now we are going to understand more about state. So now inside Redux, we are having one store and the data will be flowed from application to action to reducer, and from reducer to store. Now whatever changes we are doing in application, the changes are not directly updated inside the store. Okay, the state cannot be changed inside the store because state is immutable. Manually we cannot change the state. The only way to change the state is to dispatch an action, and we are going to write pure reducers, and pure reducers will be returning the new state. But what is this state? Okay, it is nothing but it is a design pattern which will be representing the state of an object. Now whatever data we are having inside our application, suppose user has come inside my website, user has logged in. User will be having multiple options to fill: username, email, mobile, password, gender, everything. So when user clicks on submit button, the data will be collected and that data will be sent to actions. Then that data from action it will send to reducer, and this reducer will be passing that data to the store. And that data, it is nothing but it is the state of an application. It is containing the data of my application. Store is the centralized place in Redux, and inside store a state of our application will be stored. And in Redux, state is very important. So now if I just take an example, now user has come inside my website and user is having multiple options. Suppose just take user is having one checkbox. Previously, user have not clicked on the checkbox. Directly user has submitted the details. So the checkbox value will be false in my state. Okay, previously user has not clicked on checkbox. So the data stored inside my state is false. So again user has come and we can ask, okay, directly we can ask the state whether the user has clicked on the checkbox or not. If the value is false, the user has not clicked on. If the value is true, the user has clicked on. So when I click on checkbox, the state will not directly update. The data has to be passed using the data flow action reducer. Now the checkbox is true. Inside the store, a state is changed. Okay, which basically means it will be storing all the information of our application. Let it be anything: username, password, email, mobile number, checked or not, gender, everything. All the information will be stored inside the state. And suppose just imagine I have just taken a picture of my website, and inside website I am having images, I am having buttons, I am having input fields, I am having so many things inside that picture. And state is nothing but it is an object which will be having all the information as a property. Now I have buttons clicked or not, true or false. I will be having check boxes, it is clicked or not, true or false. In object, all these properties will be stored based on that user action. So now here again I'm just going to take the example of checkbox. Now user has checked in. Now user have clicked on the checkbox. Now my checkbox state is true. Inside the state, my checkbox state will be true. Now again user wants to uncheck that box. Now inside state, I just want to change the checkbox state to false. Okay, it is not possible. We cannot modify our state manually. Directly from application, the state cannot be changed. Because if I have taken a photograph of my website, it is a photograph. I cannot modify that photograph. Now we are having multiple things. We can do Photoshop or we can do editing, whatever it is. But whatever editing we have done, that will be the new photograph. The original will remain original. but editing one or Photoshop one will be the new photograph. So in the same way, whatever values we are having inside the state, that will remains the same, but whatever checks or unchecks I have done now, that will be the new state, but old values will remain the same. Only that particular property inside the object will be changed. And directly we cannot change the states because states are immutable. So to change the state or to update the state, we have reducers. We will be dispatching an action. Based on that action, the state of our application will be changed. So in this example, the reducer will take the action of unchecking the checkbox and it will be producing a new state. Our state, whatever previously I was having, username, email, password, everything will be same, but only thing that will change inside the state is whether the checkbox is clicked or not. Now the user has checked in, so the checkbox value should be set to true. Now it will be returning the new state. It is not going to update the previous state because the whatever previous state we were having, that is the original one. Now whatever updation we are doing, this reducer will be returning the new state, which will be having the old properties of previous one plus whatever changes we have done to our application, that will be changed. So the initial state of the application was checkbox. I have not clicked the checkbox. So the initial state was false. Now as soon as user clicks on the checkbox, an action will be passed and that will be taken to reducer. My user has not clicked in. Now user wants to check the box. So it will dispatch an action. Now whatever information we are having, that has to be updated inside the state. But at this particular point, directly we cannot update the state. The state, whatever we are having, that is gone. Okay, it was belonging to the past. It is the previous state. So now I have clicked on the checkbox. As the state is immutable, we are going to use reducers. And now again, I'm going to take the new photograph, which will be having the checkbox as checked. So after dispatching all the actions, after writing pure functions, pure reducers, then we are going to change the state. Now my state of checkbox will become true because user has clicked on. And this state, whatever it is, that will be the new state. A reducer is nothing but to make any changes inside the state, we are going to write pure reducers, and these reducers will be handling the action. Okay, whatever user has acted, that action reducer will be handling. And whatever previous state, previous data we were having inside the state, that will remains the same. Only the thing that will change is state of a checkbox. It will be false or it will be true based on the user action. So directly we cannot update the state, and state is nothing but it will be storing entire data of our application. I hope you are getting what state is and what information our store contains. And whatever information we are having inside the store, that will be in the form of objects. So now I will just give you another example. We are having increment button and decrement button. Okay, basically we are having one counter. In that counter, I just want to increase number by 1. So I have clicked on the increment button. As soon as I clicked on the button, now how does our application will know what to do? What actions has to be performed next? Because before clicking the increment button, we were having a default state. Okay, the state was stored inside the store. Now after clicking the increment button, now the state is changed. Okay, obviously one number will be increased by 1. Our state is changed. Our data, whatever we are having inside the application, that is changed now. So how our application will get to know about these changes? So what actions has to be done by our application? So for this, we need some kind of dynamic mechanism. So in Redux, we have actions, we have reducers, and we have store. So basically in Redux, what happens? We will be storing entire state of our application inside the store. So we need some dynamic mechanism so that our app will know what next action has to be performed. So as we all know, Redux is a JavaScript library, and using this Redux, we are going to keep track of all the state changes in our application. And that can be happened using reducers. Whatever action the user has performed, whatever dispatch a user has performed, it will be sent to the reducer. Reducer will be telling how to do that action, how to perform that action, and after that it will be sent to the store, where whatever state, whatever data we are having inside the store, that will be updated. Okay, basically we are just changing state, but directly we cannot update the state. We have to follow this entire process, and then only we can update the state. So whatever state we are having, whatever data we are having inside the application, that will be stored in an object inside a single store. And as I told you, the only way to change the state is to emit an action, an object describing what happened, and also to specify how these actions, how these transformations are done. We will be writing pure reducers. In principle section, we have understood about pure reducers, and these pure reducers will be taking two parameters. Whatever previous state I was having, that it will be taking, and the action which user has performed. So both parameters it will be taking, and based on that action type, it will be returning the new state. I hope you got little bit understanding on state, what information is stored on state, how the state is changed, what are the actions which has to be taken. Once we start writing the projects, each and every concept will be very clear to you. What I thought is understanding theory is equally important. First few sessions, I will just focus on theory part. Later on, as we move forward in this series, we are going to implement all the concepts, actions, reducer, store, state, everything we are going to implement. And once we implement, we are going to make one complete project, so that all the concept we are going to put together and we are going to complete our project.